Right now you are seeing the Flying Sub put out by Monogram. She's not necessarily overly large model kit, and you'll see it here in a few moments. But like a lot of people, I was a fan of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. So when this model came out back in 1995, I went ahead and picked it up. But it stayed in the closet all these years. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. Steve Neal was actually the gentleman that actually kind of prompted me to go ahead and do the build, since he actually has a, what is it, a Polar Lights, or maybe it's a Mobius. Anyways, it's a larger version of this particular model that he has been building on his channel, which is Steve Neal's Garage. And it's been doing a pretty nice job. Take a look here at the box art. Top just, kind of an artist rendering. But if we go ahead and we take a look at some of the side panels here, you can see this image here, that you're able to go ahead and pull out the entire center section and get a good look at the interior, which has me thinking that, this will look a lot better possibly than the larger version, which the only thing you can lift off on that larger version is just that center hatch area. And then try to look in. I mean, you can look through the windows. You can basically kind of make out the windows right there. But by being able to go ahead and lift off the entire center section here, you should be able to get a good view inside. I only hope that the interior is as in good quality as what I was looking at Steve Neal's model. But as a lot of people will tell you, if you get into smaller models, the smaller and smaller you get, the less detail you get. The question becomes is how accurate is what you got. So I can already see that there's a little bit of difference here, because here you've got the engine area, whereas the larger version that Steve Neal has, you've got the quarter that goes from the rear hatch of the inner compartment to the exterior hatch, which you can see there just a little bit on this model. But we'll see as we go ahead and we open it up. Taking a look at the rest of the artwork here, and then standard. Oops. Let me go ahead and lift this up. I need to go ahead and find my tripod, obviously. Anyways, this is a Monogram. It's a 1/60th scale. It should be 7.5 inches wide. Again, not that wide. It actually includes a couple of figures. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and open it up. Yes, I did take the plastic off of it already. I tried to do a video earlier using my cell phone. Oh God, that was a mistake. Especially considering it would only film up to 30 seconds at a time. So now I've got something a little bit better. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and open it up and take a look at the parts. Be back in a moment, people. Alright, and we are back. You can see some of the model parts here laid out in front of you. I'm going to go ahead and kind of pan from right to left, and then left to right, and kind of go over it. Anyways, we have here, it looks like the left-hand side, oops, let me get it into frame, as well as the rear bulkhead. As you can see, they're molded in yellow plastic. Okay, so we'll end up going ahead and painting it anyway, so I'm not going to just leave it as it is. Over here, we have the other side. So actually, this particular piece here is the left-hand side of the top. This one would be the right-hand side of the top. Putting those aside, here we have the upper and lower hatch areas for entering into the Flying Sub. Here we have the bottom. Let me go ahead and take a better shot of it, and it looks like we've got an opening for, I don't know, maybe something like a tail hook for landing on maybe an aircraft carrier. I don't know, I'll have to go ahead and take a look at that. Also, it looks like there's a hatch down here too. Looks like there's a couple of dimples down here that may need to be filled up. Let me take a look at the top. Yeah. If you notice here, there's the plastic edging here. It's not uncommon, yeah, and here's the sinks on the top. It's not uncommon when they go ahead and do the molding to go ahead and have that happen. An extremely thick piece will have kind of a little bit of a dimple in the cooling of the plastic when it's poured out. Here's this center section on the top. Again, we seem to have that ridge a little bit right there. I don't know how well it will show up. It seems to be showing up a little bit. I've only got like a 1.5-inch view monitor here, and you can see it also on the front. I'm not talking about the circular piece in the center, but if you take a look underneath, you'll see the thicker part in the center. Oops. Right here and right here, and they correspond with the ridges that you see. So that will have to be filled up a little bit. And a couple of the things that I like to use, depending on what it is I'm dealing with, I will use periodically squadron putty. It's not bad. I like the fact that it's a light color. It's easier to paint over than my alternative that I like to use. The alternative that I use, and I use it quite a lot, is actually it's a Bondo product. Their glazing and spot putty. It's red. Yes, that's right, people. This guy is red. But I find it is an excellent product. It goes on a little bit better than the white putty, and it sands excellently. The only thing is, again, it is red in color, so when you go to primer it, and unlike the squadron putty, because the squadron putty is white, it doesn't show the divots as you're going ahead and making it. So the squadron putty, you do have to definitely primer it in order to be able to see any flaws in the putty work. The Bondo here, it does show up a little bit better, but again, you still need to go ahead and primer it in order to see some of the finer details. But anyways, let's continue on. They went ahead, they give us a couple of men. I'm assuming one of them is supposed to be Captain Crane and the other one's supposed to be Admiral Nelson. We have the clear windows. Now, when I was pulling this bag apart, I noticed it had one. Is it going to come into focus? Yeah. It had one light lens. And if you take a look at the box art here, there are two lights, forward-mounted lights here. So, didn't get enough lights, apparently. There's a spot on the sprue for it, but it didn't come on in. Since, as you already heard me say earlier, I did open this up earlier. So I went ahead and contacted Monogram, and they confirmed what I pretty much already knew, that the additional parts have long since vanished. This model is 17, 18 years of age right now. So I will have to go ahead and, with this part here, make a clear resin casting, so that way I can go ahead and get another copy of it, which luckily, as you can see back here, I've got silicone molding rubber, I've got all the white casting plastic, and I just got in the other day, actually just got in yesterday, the clear resin, which is over here in the back. And all these are 1-to-1, there we go, over here in the back, using the box to kind of show you which one. But all those are 1-to-1 mixtures, makes it nice and easy to go ahead and do. I've got these resin cups back here which make it easier to go ahead and make. And with this lens being such a small piece, it's not going to take hardly anything to go ahead and make it. But let's go ahead and continue on with the model review. Looking at the next sprue, it looks like we've got pieces for. It does look like it's a tail hook there for an aircraft carrier landing. Interesting. Huh. Now it looks like we've got bulkhead. What do they call those? I don't recall. Anyways, for going ahead and opening up the bulkheads, we got a couple seats. We got a couple of panels here. We have the center ring for the roll cage, I guess you could call it. Parts of the roll cage over here. And the bunk for where the captain or the admiral can go ahead and sleep in the flying sub. Yes, it did have a bunk area for that. Here we have the front piece, where again the light lenses and the windshields would go. Also, it looks like grills for going ahead and cooling the engines or some type of water intake. And right now, in the background, you are hearing Bailey. He's my little Bichon Terrier terrorist. No, he's not really a terrier, but he is a terrorist. And he loves to play. And he's got... actually, I think he's got... No, he doesn't have Falcor. Falcor's on the other seat. But Bailey's just running amok. He found a plushie toy, and he's just going to go to town on it. Anyways, continuing with the review. Here we have more girdles. Girders. Looks like the... Okay, so girders here. Engines. We got the ladder. Looks like we got engine components again. I'm not sure about these two pieces here. I don't know. I have no idea what those couple pieces are. And here we have the floor of the flying sub. Let me pull that out of the way. And of course, as all things, it of course came with a instruction manual, which I'll get more into that here in a moment. But let me show you the last sprue. And here we go, and one piece is kind of hanging low. And these are the interior bulkheads. And guess what I am not seeing on here? Let me get the instructions out of the way. There we go. That shows up a little bit better, I think. I'm not seeing something that's important. Specifically, if you remember the show, the Flying Sub had, I guess what I would call it, a fusion wall. It was a wall that had 11 round circular pieces that you could see into the fusion reaction. And it was basically, like I said, a wall with 11 holes. It went 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, so on down the line until you had 11. It had some type of diffused plastic probably over each of the holes. And then it just had, swirling colored lights behind it to go ahead and simulate the fusion reaction behind it. Which was a big thing because when they shot the film, you typically could very easily see that reaction piece going on behind you, or behind the actors. So to not see that piece here is very disappointing. So I'm disappointed with this model kit because of that. That would be the one piece I would immediately be looking for, and I do not see it here. So, I hate to say this, but model, although I had high hopes because of the center section being removable to show the details inside the cockpit, the details just aren't there as well as I would like them to be. So, but that being said, I did go ahead and I found someone online who specializes in an actualization kit for this aftermarket product. And one of the good things about the garage kits that are out nowadays, they are so much better than what they ever used to be. So I happened to find this strictly by accident. I was looking for Monogram Flying Subs. And I happened to find a video, and it turned out by Simon Merks of the Kit Factory. He's also got a YouTube page, as well as a Facebook page. And if you don't know about him, look him up. But happened to notice that he had a Monogram Flying Sub, and it actually had the interior fusion wall on it that he had lit up. I went ahead and sent him a message via Facebook. Actually, I think it was just an email. And Simon and I have talked with each other on a couple of occasions. I've asked him some questions, and he's been kind enough to respond. And he let me know about who the gentleman was who supplied him with the aftermarket product. I went ahead and sent the gentleman, and his name is Gil Hernandez. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Anyways, I went ahead, contacted Gil, and found him actually on Facebook, and he and I have talked. The aftermarket product for the Flying Sub that he produces is something that he does in his spare time. He does have a regular job. If I remember, he's a truck driver. I don't know if he's long haul or local, but anyways, nice guy. Talked with him for a little bit, and he will ultimately be supplying me with the interior upgrade for the Flying Sub here, as well as some electronics to go ahead and put in there. I'm not quite sure what all the package is. The price isn't bad. For everything, he was quoting me about $60 for it all, which, okay, the model kit was $15. The electronics bring it up, to $75. Still, that's not bad, considering what all I'll be doing with this model kit to improve it. So thanks a lot to Gil. I'm not sure as to when he will have that available yet, but I look forward to hearing from him more about that. So I get to go ahead and have some fun, not only with the the electronics, going ahead and soldering it possibly. I don't know if it will come pre-assembled or not, but I'll get to go ahead and have some fun with soldering and whatnot. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. Move these parts out. Let's take a look at the instruction manual. Oops, had a wall here, that piece that fell off. And I certainly want to make sure I keep that one clear plastic piece here, right there. Gotta save him. Otherwise I can't recast him. So anyways, pulling out the instruction manual. Standard, paper review. Gives you the color listings that they've got here. I'll actually go ahead and take a look online for the better color schemes. Like I said, Steve Neal has been building it recently, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his colors. If you don't know anything about Steve Neal, he's actually in the industry of working as a prop and model maker in Hollywood, or for Hollywood, I should say, as well as having his own little piece that he does, but on the YouTube channels. So he is notoriously great about going ahead and finding out the colors, getting research, and having the resource of people, not only like myself, but those that are in the business as well that can go ahead and help him out. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Yeah, it looks like it is a tail hook of some type, and it looks like it's able to go ahead and fall out. Alright, so it's supposed to come down. We got the engine components here, which I'll have some fun. I'll have to go ahead and do some drilling out to light it up a little bit. Looks like some seats for the captains. One thing I didn't notice was the control arms. That went onto the seats here. Let me go ahead and, oh, there they are. Oops, making a lot of mess. Yeah, here they are, the joystick controllers that went onto the arms of the chairs. Actually, those are the chair arms with the controllers on it. Okay. Let's see, the interior roll cage. More of the interior roll cage with the ladder here. Starting of putting in the walls. And one of the things that I noticed about the walls, and here's one of them right here. Actually, it will end up going like this in there. But I noticed here on the walls on the actual Flying Sub there was a bank of lights that was here. It was elevated from the wall, and the clock strikes. Anyways, so that'll have to be something that I'll need to go ahead and maybe go ahead and pour a small resin piece to go ahead and put on here, and then drill some holes for some probably 0.25, yeah, probably 2.25. I don't think I can get smaller fiber optic lights to go ahead and place in there. I won't be able to put in quite nearly as many as what actually was there, since this is a smaller scale piece, but it'll still go ahead and give the effect. More of the interior. Again, interior again, engine compartment interior, that is. The top hull piece. Here we have the lights. Assembling of the outer hull. And then that's pretty much it, top and bottom view. So, again, not great as far as the, being accurate. It could be a lot better. As a, kind of going through this, I found the piece that they use, or where the fusion wall is. So this is the piece that they say, this is the piece that's supposed to represent the fusion wall, and it is this piece right here. Now, I'm sorry, that just doesn't buy it. The fusion wall was all the way across the top, and it went down almost all the way to the bottom. Like I said, it went 2, 1, 2, kind of how this one's starting right here. Don't know how well you can see it. Let me go ahead and kind of stand it up here. And grab a hobby knife here and use it as a pointer. But yeah, actually, as it falls back down. Anyways, so as you can see here, the fusion wall piece was a panel that went from here, basically all the way over to here, down, and back over, a rectangular piece. It did go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, to a total of 11 the circular hull areas. Then, like I said, it had a probably diffused plastic behind it, and then the lights were shining behind it. Certainly didn't have these panels up here on the side here. There may have been a couple panels down below, perhaps. I'll have to go ahead and double check to see about that. And here you can see the bunk area for where the Admiral goes ahead and rests and whatnot. Complete with ladder getting into it, which, okay, that's kind of cool. There was a storage bin underneath. I'm pretty sure this is not accurate, but it looks pretty cool actually. And it looks like a small compartment here too, although not detailed that well. So again, this is the Flying Sub by Monogram. Again, not very accurate. I hope that I will be able to go ahead and put some more detailed information in on my video as far as Gil Hernandez's information, as well as Steve Neal, so that way you can go ahead and see another model builder and hopefully appreciate what he does as well. So for now, ending its first, hopefully first of very many. Lord knows I've got enough model kits, so I should have enough to go ahead and actually do like 100 different model reviews, let alone builds. Unfortunately, the build will have to wait a little bit until I get the piece in from, or the pieces in from Gil Hernandez. So this is the review. You'll be seeing more of me, and take care everyone. Have a great day and keep on modeling. Bye bye.